Yo, yo, yo. So apparently I made YouTube mad. I just got an email from YouTube that says, wait, what does this say? I have another email right this second actually. It says my stream was interrupted. Copyright owner using okay. Superman the animated series is a copyrighted show. I didn't think that it playing in the background would be an issue because there's no sound, there's nothing. It was just there for eye candy. We're gonna pick some different eye candy. Well, actually, we'll just turn the TV off. I can't be bothered right now. Although that looked cool, like DC messing with my shot. But hopefully, you guys are all back. Let's see. Comic Book Novice says they hate us because they ain't us. Let's see. Okay, we in here. Welcome back. Appreciate it. What's up, Jody? Omniverse says, I just want to stop and say, if you spoil No Way Home on social media, you're a bad person. Have a great stream. I feel you. I haven't seen No Way Home. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. Jody says, hey, you can play Baby Boy. I bet you won't get taken down. That is hilarious. But yeah. No, they have not given me a channel strike. So a copyright claim and a copyright strike are different things. And honestly, like I could claim public domain and there's ways around that, but all of that is like retroactive stuff. I can't do it while I'm live. So, but yeah, I don't think there's going to be any issue with my YouTube channel moving forward, but they just interrupted that stream, which that's never happened to me. Although, to be fair, I've never played Superman the animated series in the background of a show either. So there's that. C. Rook says only OGs remember the OG stream. Dang, what were we even talking about? I feel like we were having a great conversation. And then, let's see. And let me, while we're here, I'm going to go into my YouTube studio and see how things were affected. All right. View my options. So let's do this. Let me do this. I'm going to show you guys my screen because when is this ever going to happen again? Tab. Boom. All right. So you guys can see I ended up getting a copyright claim. Says channel impact not affected. We're all good, but nobody can view that live stream or that replay. It's ineligible for monetization, so I won't earn any money off of that live stream, which is fine because live streams don't really make much money unless it's like a super chat or something. Oh, and it claimed it for like that whole time. That's crazy. Yeah, I would not have gotten like, that's why I didn't even know Content ID worked that way. That's more advanced than it used to be. So very cool, interesting stuff. Let's see what we got going on. Okay, this is an eventful stream. If there was a tier list for streams, this will be S tier with the Pickle Rick one. Yeah, the Pickle Rick one was crazy. What's up? So let's talk about it. So let's talk about it. Won my surprise giveaway for, what did I give him? What was the giveaway? Oh, Hawkman. If Hawkman's Egyptian, how is he also white? So, yeah. Aiden is already at the first annual in Charles Soule's Daredevil. Mine just came in yesterday. I recorded the unboxing. It's going live tomorrow. And let's see. Yo, you ever done movie reviews? I'm curious how you felt about Venom 2. I wasn't the biggest fan of Venom 1. Like, it was cool, but it wasn't all that. And I still haven't seen Venom 2. I'm pretty sure my wife has seen both. But yeah. So Aiden just got his Daredevil yesterday too, but he's already at the first annual. You've been reading then. You've been reading a lot. West Side Jody, Skip uses Comixology unless he buys comics and then download a backup CRZ copy. Where are you getting a CRZ copy of comics? Is this like a torrent? Is this like a comics torrent? We probably shouldn't talk about this on the stream where I just got taken down, right? No, I'm playing. Android Topic wants to know, when is the next Zabby mystery box? I probably won't be buying one for at least another 2 months. Fun fact, I don't really buy those mystery boxes like out of pocket. When new people use my link, I get like $5 in account credit. And whenever it builds up to like $20 or $30 or whatever it is, that's when I'll place another order for another mystery box. So it'll probably take another 2-3 months for that to happen. And I don't know, I might order a mystery box and I might order like a DVD. They had like a whole Dragon Ball Z movie Blu-ray set, but I was afraid that it wouldn't work in the United States. That's why I haven't bought that one yet. But yeah. Ben says, just finished my work holiday dinner. Is this stream going to stick around long enough for my drive home? That's the plan. That is the plan. So let's talk about it. It says, hey, you put me on milestone book dropping on OPB. Did you see I put up a pre-order for Static Season 1? I did. I'm excited about that collection. Issue 5 comes out in a couple of weeks. I'm excited about that too. Skip was talking about, what was he talking about? I missed it. Oh, yeah, Skip was talking about Comixology and the guided view. I like the guided view, but then there are some pages that there's some stories where like viewing the whole page really adds a lot more to it. I'm half and half on guided view, but in general, I do like it. You know what I miss? I miss when the DC Universe app was on Roku. Reading comics on the TV was awesome. Like, I don't care who never tried it. It was great. It went away when HBO Max got announced, but man, was that a fun way to read comic books digitally. I miss it. JC, I was just talking about you. I was telling everybody that you're selling a Swamp Thing New 52 Omnibus. Did it sell yet? If it didn't sell yet, I might have to take it off your hands, but that wouldn't be till next week. But let's see. Oh yeah. It does show full pages too. It does. And like what I like about the guided view is like it'll zoom in on a panel, but I don't know like how they trigger this, but it'll also zoom out to show a full page if it's like been programmed into that specific story. It's a great way to read comics. I can't lie to you. Android Topic wants to know how far I am with Uncanny Volume 1. Am I dropping the review New Year's Eve? So I'm one issue in to that omnibus. I'm one issue in to that one. So no, not New Year's Eve. It'll be closer to Martin Luther King Day, which is the 15th. But yeah. So, okay. I appreciate that. We can make this happen next Tuesday. We can make it happen next Tuesday if you're down. Then I'm down. But yeah, Uncanny X-Men Volume 1, the Omnibus. Let me go grab it. It's behind me. Hold on. So yeah, this is my copy, and you can see where my bookmark is. Very much at the beginning. And let's see. Aiden says, hey, don't forget about those shoes. Oh, snap. I did say something about the taxis. Those are still up for grabs. I don't even remember who it was that was trying to sell them to me. It's probably you. Yeah, the taxis. You know what? I almost tried for the cool grays last weekend, but I knew that was going to be a bust. But I mean, that'd be cool. See, Rook. Stream gets taken down because of Batman shirt. That's funny. Oh yeah, it was Aiden. Cool. Yeah, I think we could. I think we can still make that happen. I'm excited about getting some new J's. I shouldn't get new J's, but I like J's. I haven't bought a pair of shoes in like at least 2 years. Anyway, JC the Comic Geek says I got an Amazon Fire tablet HD 10, and one page on the tablet is the size of one Omnibus page. Yeah, reading on a tablet is definitely like next level. When my daughter was in the hospital, the hospital had an iPad, and of course I would like use it because they give it to you so you can like read the medical charts and like all the notes and stuff that the doctor puts in throughout the day, or doctors. When your kid's in the NICU, there's like 85 doctors a day and a bunch of nurses. So I could like read through, be like, oh, she had a wet diaper today and this, she got this shot today. But what I also did was logged into my Comixology account, my DC Universe account, and I would just read comics on the Marvel or on that iPad. And that was how I got caught up with a lot of stuff. It was dope. Let's see. Tim Sigler wants to know what the first comic that got me hooked on comics was. So the book that made me start a pull list was House of X, Powers of 10. That was the one where I was like, okay, I got to go to this comic shop every week and I got to see what happens. And while I was grabbing that, for a while I had two I was shopping at two comic shops regularly. I was going to Ultimate Comics Raleigh, which was right near my house, and it was like that's where my pull list was. But then I was also going to Atomic Empire because it was really close to my job. And so I would go there on my lunch break and just buy stuff. Like I was really just going there to distract myself from my job because I hated my job that much. But I would go there because they opened at 11 and my lunch break was like 11:15. So I could go and get what I thought was first dibs on a bunch of stuff. And so I would buy Batman at Atomic Empire, and I had Batman on the pull list at Ultimate Raleigh just so that I could read the book before I got home. It was crazy. But yeah, so Hotspots and Tom King's Batman, which I didn't enjoy nearly as much. I didn't like Tom King's Batman, or at least the end of it I didn't. What's the newest Jordan model that I own, and what's the newest I'd be into picking up? The newest model, 12s. Yeah, the newest model I own is a pair of 12s. The newest I'd be into picking up, probably the 14s. The white and royal blue 17s are interesting to me. Is it the set? Yeah. The 17s are the ones that came with the CD. The 18s are like meh, and yeah, that's where it stops for me. Like that pair of 17s is probably the latest one I would grab. But what I would actually read or wear most often, 14s and back. So let's see. So let's talk about it. It says, I really want a shirt from you that says, I'm just getting cover A. I can make that happen. I just got to figure out what I want that design to look like. But I can certainly make that happen because I say that all the time. Let's see. JC's first introduction to, or reintroduction to comics was 2016 with Wolverine Old Man Logan. That's what it was. I was telling people about how I used to treat my comics when I was a kid, because there was comics everywhere, but not comic shops everywhere in New York, where I would visit for the summer, and we just like got big bags of them, fought over which heroes were the coolest, and did not keep them in pristine condition at all. Like I would rip pages out to use as posters. Like I did not take care of comics when I was a kid. That was the whole point of that story that I was telling when Warner Brothers decided to stop me. So Ben Uncle says, man, don't be sleeping on the 34. Some of my favorite on-court shoes ever, but don't ever wear them off. Yeah, from what I hear, the latest Jordan model is almost always the best performance shoe from a basketball standpoint, but I don't play basketball. The 29s were really interesting to me. I really loved like that big fly weave jump man, but it was like, I'm not going to wear these casually. I would only wear them on a basketball court, and I don't play basketball. So I didn't buy them. I kind of regret that though, because I do still like those. I could probably, now that everybody's wearing like skinny jeans and stuff all the time, I probably could have found a way to make those shoes look cool on foot casually, but I also don't go anywhere except the comic shop, and nobody cares about your shoes in the comic shop. You know how I know? Because I have a pair of Batman Converses, and not one person has ever complimented me on them in the comic shop. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Are you checking out Jessica Jones Alias Omnibus? Nah, it's one of those Max series. I don't do comics that are like super crazy explicit. And so when that's like the selling point of a book is the big Max logo on the top, I'm like, it's probably not for me. I've heard good things. I've heard Jessica Jones is a great character. I've heard it's one of Bendis's best works. But yeah, probably not gonna grab that. I might check it out digitally, but I don't think I'm grabbing that omnibus. JC wants to know if I have a collection of shoes like I have a collection of comics. No, because why? Oh, because Jordans are $200. I could buy like 4 omnibus for the price of 1 pair of Jordans. And Jordans come out every week the same way comics come out every week. If I was really into sneakers, my budget would be insane. Well, this is good to know. Alias isn't actually explicit. It's just sweary. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll probably check it out digitally. I'm trying not to just buy a bunch of books sight unseen. I've done enough of that, right? Like, for example, Daredevil. I don't know anything about Daredevil. I mean, I've seen the TV show, parts of it. And yeah, like the reason I didn't have any Daredevil prior to my Daredevil by Charles Soule was because everybody's like, oh, you got to read Daredevil by Bendis and Daredevil by Brubaker and Daredevil by such and such. I'm like, that's like 6 omnis worth of Daredevil. Which one is the jumping on point? Like, for real. But yeah, so what I'm trying to do is to save some space. Let me at least read a little bit of the book digitally before I decide to commit to buying the omnibus. So I'll check out Jessica Jones digitally and we'll see how it goes from there. Skip says, I wear my Wakanda Forever Dame 5s and my Captain America Next Levels, and almost no one ever says anything. I'm going to upload my old unboxing of it for today's video on my channel. Word. Do you read any unique comics or Concrete? I have not read any Concrete yet. Why does that sound so familiar? I think one of my homies actually has done some work with somebody that does Concrete. I think I saw an interview with Concrete Books recently. But unique. I'm working on a review of Wale, the Legend of Wale Williams. I have Malika Warrior Queen, and is it Ayanu Warrior Child? I'm trying to remember, or Child of Wonder. Excuse me, Ayanu Child of Wonder. My point is, I've just been introduced to the unique universe recently, and it's something I want to spotlight. I want to spotlight in the coming year. So I'm familiar with that. And now all of a sudden, your name makes more sense. Afro Sci-Fi's Ian's Comics Undig It. Undig it? You dig it? But anyway, so yeah, I've read some unique comics. I've not read any Concrete. What would you recommend from the Concrete publisher? Let me know. Let's see. Trying to talk myself into buying Peter David X Factor on IST for $35, but I need $50 for free shipping. Dog, shipping's like $4. Just pay the $40 and don't worry about the shipping being not free. It happens all the time that like it's like, oh, I gotta buy this thing so I can get this free thing. And it's like that's the trick of marketing. Like you're never going to like spend less. Even when there's a sale, right? Like CGN had their Black Friday sale, and it was like, oh, all these books are $30. Well, it's like, well, yeah, you could look at it as you saved a bunch of money, or you can look at it as you spent $300 that you weren't planning on spending that day. It's just, in the eye of the beholder. I behold missing money is what I behold. Let's see. Aiden says with Daredevil, the only modern run that doesn't work as a jumping on point is Brubaker's. Yeah, I've heard that comes in right after Bendis is what I've heard. Let's see. Ben says Alias is a Max title, but it's still Marvel, not as extreme as most Image titles. Still don't know that it's really your cup of tea though. Okay. Ben got me something recently, and I'm going to check it out. That'll be like my first real introduction to Daredevil. But we'll see. There was a moment with like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage in Devil's Reign #1 that I enjoyed a lot. And so who knows? I might end up going back to Alias just to get more about that relationship. But we'll see. We shall see. Born Hitman says free shipping limits work on me all the time. Just use the pre-order stuff that I plan on buying anyway. That makes sense. So let's talk about it. It says I thought of this concept for a comic, and I'm curious what you think. Yeah, I'm down to listen to it. Give me the pitch. JC says, but Last Age of Superman Rebirth in hardcover format is amazing. He's dying and is trying to make amends to tie up loose ends. It's like $10. I mean, if you want that one, then get that one. And then your shipping will be free. But I'm like, don't buy things that you weren't going to buy anyway. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how they get you. Let's see. Aiden says, Daredevil was the only comic I can really binge read. I feel you. You know what kept me out of Daredevil for so long? I would always get the vibe that Daredevil was just like Batman, but blind in Marvel, right? And so, yeah, I was like, I'm already reading Batman, but now I hear that I've been missing out a lot. So there's that. All right. Trucking Nerd says he hears JMS's run of Daredevil is fantastic. I didn't even know JMS had a run on Daredevil. I've only heard of, I know Frank Miller had like an epic run on Daredevil. And then it's like no one wrote Daredevil again until Bendis and then Brubaker. Mark Waid is somewhere in there, Charles Soule, and Zdarsky. Obviously, other people have written Daredevil, but that's the only ones I've heard of. Let's see. Afro Sci-Fi says the best concrete books are Watchmen, Absolver, Acolyte, and Odina. Let me look it up. Concrete. Yes, I was on their website before. Let me do this. Let me stop. Let me share my screen. So I was watching a live stream that someone was doing, my homie Danny, and he had the dude from Concrete on here. No, that's not what it was. Somebody from Concrete followed me on Twitter. That's what it was. That's what I'm thinking about. The one my homie Danny did was a different publisher. That is a trippy image. That's pretty cool. I don't know what book that's from, but that's interesting. Maybe it's from Decimation Earth. Huh. Tevin Fields is the Watchman. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. He's got a big W on his chest for Watchmen. Okay. Who knows? I might have to grab some of these. So with these, are they, I wonder, are they digital comics? Are they, looks like they're physical. Acolyte looks cool. Just as far as character designs, if I'm going off these covers, I like Watchmen. Odina doesn't look bad. Acolyte probably is my favorite of all these designs, and the Absolver looks cool too. He was kind of like a cross between Moon Knight and Dr. Manhattan. And Vision. Definitely Vision. But anyway, interesting stuff. Havoc says, Concrete reminds me of Milestone. Word. I mean, it certainly is like a universe of black superheroes, so they have that in common. Ben says, "Don't buy things I wasn't gonna buy anyway. Why would Alias even exist then?" That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Let's see. Oh, so let's talk about it. Here's his superhero pitch. Music gives people superpowers. Every person is only activated by certain genres of music, and the music will determine what the powers are. Like dubstep could be like vibrations and lasers. The only issue I'm seeing with that is how do you communicate which music does what? Like, or how do you get that feel across? Because I haven't done well in the past with comic books that have an accompanying soundtrack. It's like the soundtrack, because I'm such a music nerd, it's hard for me to focus on the music or focus on the comic with the music playing. Like I'm like, oh, that kick is dope. And then I'm like, oh wait, I'm supposed to be reading this book. It doesn't work for me. So I'm curious to see how you would overcome with that. Let's see. JC wants to know, how's Eric Larson's Savage Dragon? Is it any good? I have no idea. And he wants to know what I'm drinking. This is coffee. This is coffee with a very tiny amount of oat milk and less sugar than I wanted. But I literally made this right before I started the stream. So I didn't have time to get it perfected the way I wanted to. I didn't even taste it first. I just put it in the cup and ran upstairs. So you get what you get. Let's see. So Havoc says, okay, so we'll walk around with Richter, Dazzler, and Jubilee. And Vibe from DC. Contralad says, there was a throwaway character in Academy X whose powers changed depending on what music he was listening to. I think he was only in one issue. Word. No one said, oh wait, I did say sugar. That's touche. I did say sugar. White Tiger says, Cowabunga fam. Cowabunga. So you know what I didn't do today? I didn't do my little overlay. Like this joint with all the branding on it. Tell me, do you like it better like this? Or just plain like this? I don't mind it plain anymore. It used to bug me when it was plain, but I think this is fine. Ben says, I'm going to see Jizza on Saturday. Can you hit up your best friend Dennis Cowan and ask if he's going? And if so, will he sign my Liquid Swords at the show? In Ohio? Wait, did they resume their tour? Because I thought, now, hold on. Because there are 3 members of Wu-Tang on tour right now. I think it's Ray, Ghost, and there's obviously one other member. but they postponed a bunch of shows due to a family emergency. That was like a week ago. I saw that. Was Jizza on that tour, or is Jizza just doing a solo show? Now I gotta know. But yeah, that'd be awesome to have Liquid Swords signed by Dennis Cowan. If I find myself in the same room as Dennis Cowan, I'm certainly bringing my copy of Liquid Swords for that reason. Any news if The Walking Dead Deluxe will be collected in oversized hardcovers? I'm waiting for them to collect the complete run. According to Robert Kirkman, it's never going to be collected in any other format than the single issues. But who knows if that's true? But that's what he said when they first started coming out. Ben says it's Jizza, Ray, and Ghostface. I think it was Jizza, Ray, and Ghostface that was supposed to come to Raleigh recently. They're hitting Cleveland on Friday. At the House of Blues. Word. That'd be dope. That'd be a dope show. I don't really do hip hop shows like that anymore because I like my ears, but that'd be a dope show. The last hip hop show I went to, okay, so it was either Lauryn Hill in Raleigh or Outkast in Charlotte. I don't remember which of those came first, but those were my last two concerts, and I don't think there's anything beating that Outkast show. A very, very close second is Jay-Z and Kanye on the Watch the Throne tour. As far as like the technical stuff, like the Watch the Throne tour gets it by far. Like immersive experience, all that. Because Outkast I saw at a festival. I had to sit through like 18 other opening acts. And then it rained in the middle of the set and they had to stop it. But it was Outkast and they were live. And they performed Speakerbox Love Below tracks for the first time, like ever. So that was dope. BJ doesn't want to admit that it was really Lil Pump singing Gucci Gang. I've never heard that song. I saw Lil Pump. Was he the one that did the interview with J. Cole? Because he did the whole F. J. Cole thing, right? Last show I went to was Dead Prez. It was super dope. It's bigger than hip. I was just watching the Dave Chappelle special. And of course that ends with this is protected by the red, the black, and the green. But anyway, that's dope. One thing about music, when it hits you, feel no pain. What am I missing? Trucking Nerd says, Comic Book Report just reviewed Hoxpox. He has me really wanting to read it. Honestly, if you don't read anything else from this era of X-Men, Hoxpox is the must read out of the bunch. Like, it's like a 9 out of 10 for me. And it's only the 9 because some of the big brain stuff in Powers of X, I didn't wrap my head around on initial read through. And there is for me, there's something to say about accessibility. Like some people really enjoy not quite understanding a comic the first time around because you feel like you get more for your money, like you're going back to the story and so on. But I think there's something to be said about being complicated for the sake of complication. And I feel like Jonathan Hickman toes that line a lot. But yeah, Hoxpox is dope. Let's see. Hey, maybe we should do a Secret Santa with some of the squad next year. I know I've done Secret Santa with my gaming friends in a gaming forum I'm in. So we do that sort of with the sketch cover. Like we do that Secret Santa style. I'm assuming there wasn't a lot of interest this time around because I didn't ever get an email about the next one or the holiday one. The only issue with Secret Santa, especially with a bunch of people on the internet that don't know each other, is how do you enforce it? How do you make sure people get their stuff on time and make it fun for everybody? I'm down to try to organize something like that, but the fact that there's 500 people in the squad and then I think we got 80 in the Discord, that's going to make that difficult to coordinate. And I don't know that I have the bandwidth to coordinate it. So I'd have to pass it off to somebody and nobody's getting paid for this. So then it's like, who wants to take the time to do that? It can be done. But I'm not the one to do it. So we'll see. There is a Secret Santa that I'm part of, but it's not. The details are coming. It's not group wide, but yeah, there is something I agreed to participate in. I'm excited about that though. I think. Let's see. What? What? Yo, that's my favorite thing on Family Guy is like when Mrs. Garrett just comes out of nowhere, like, what? You didn't get an email kicks, dang, you got kicked out of your own group. And I didn't get kicked out. I think we were doing like a Google form to sign up for the Secret Santa. And I don't know that enough people signed up because normally like there'll be a spreadsheet that goes out and it's like, hey, here's your guy. I didn't get one of those this time around. I'll have to hit up Mario to see how that went. Let's see. When my phone rings, I always think it's something important, and it's never. It's just like an ESPN alert. Like, LeBron's going to play today. I'm like, yeah, I know. Let's see. Hoxbox is incredible. Still might sell my floppies and just cop the hardcover. I still got the promotional seeds and the short box for it, too. I didn't get any promotional seeds. Like, when I came into Hoxbox, issue 1 was already, like, sold out everywhere. I won a copy of issue 1, not the connecting cover, even though I wanted the connecting cover. And I got issue 2. And what's funny is, like, I signed up for the series, and I was like, oh, I want the connecting covers. And the issue, I think it's issue 3. It was issue 2. Issue 2 came out, and I ended up not getting the second connecting cover for Powers of 10. And I went to the shop, and I was like, oh, I thought I was supposed to get the connecting cover. And the dude calls his manager, and the manager at the time, who's no longer employed by this company, was like, well, just because you sign up for something doesn't mean you're going to get it. And I was like, wait, what? Like, isn't it what? That was fun. That was funny. But because of that, I don't have a complete connecting cover set. I don't have the connecting covers for issue 1 or for issue 2. But I got 3 through 6 of all of them connecting. I need to finish that. I need to check on eBay and see how those are going. Because last I checked, the connecting set for issue 2 was going for like $100. Let's look it up. Let's look it up together. I'm going to share my screen again. And let's see. Wait, what? Is that for real? My bad. Wrong tab. Here we go. So I don't think this is the books. Maybe it is. Oh, this is just the one cover. I hate when eBay sellers use stock photos. So yeah, I don't know if I trust that one. And then let's see. Sheesh, $225. I don't want that. I don't want to sell. I don't want to buy it for that much. Yeah. This set is still out of my reach. I don't want to pay that kind of price for that book. Yeah, well. Let's see. I have my phone off unless I'm going out in public. I get spam called by call centers. The one that comes out that the spam company that calls me all the time, or I don't know who they are, but they're like, hello, this is the Department of Social Security Administration. And I'm like, that's two different things. Like, is it the department or is it an administration? Like, which is it? So that's always funny to me. Ben says, what are you most looking forward to reading this week, new or otherwise? I am excited to get back into the Uncanny X-Men by Chris Claremont, Volume 1. I picked up the Me You Love in the Dark because people were just like raving about this series, and I've come to enjoy Jorge Corona's artwork. Um, Only thing is, I'm missing issue 3 of this. I have issue 1 through 5, but I don't have issue 3, so I need that. And what else am I excited to read? I guess like as far as single issues, the one I'm most excited to read, I want to see how Spider-Man goes now that, well, I don't want to spoil last week's issue of Spider-Man, but I want to see how Spider-Man goes with that new information. And Primordial. I want to caught up on Primordial. Everything else is kind of like, but those two I'm like really excited about. Let's see. Trucking Nerd is reading the first Spawn Compendium. He's half enjoying it so far. Which half? The art? Probably the art, right? Let's see. Skip's looking forward to Gun Honey and regarding the matter of Oswald's body. I've seen Gun Honey. Those covers are quite fan servicey, as somebody put it. I gotta get this thing under control. The group. But anyway, so Skip's looking forward to a couple of indie titles. How is Gun Honey? People seem to be very high on Gun Honey, and I can't tell if they're just hype because of the covers or if there's like, what's the substance to the story? If anybody knows, it's gonna be Skip. Meanwhile, I'm gonna take a bite of this pizza that I heated up right before the stream and didn't touch until just now. Trucking Nerd says, yep, the art. I'm not a fan of the take that and that fight dialogue. Right. Yeah, I can see that. Let me got mine right here. I should probably pick up volume 2. Spawn Compendium 2 is out this week. My issue with Spawn has always been this dialogue, though. It would be like walls of text and then like the news pundits and stuff. This art is cool. Todd McFarlane's still drawing people like furry people. But this image, look at that. That's just dope. I wish there were covers in here. I feel like it's really missing that. But I mean, how can you not like Spawn artwork? And it's just been great art for like 20 years. That's awesome. This makes me want to read this compendium. Look at that spread. Is that Capullo? That's dope. All right. I've stalled long enough. I'm sure Skip has answered me about Gun Honey by now. It says the plot's a lot deeper than the cover suggests, and it keeps getting deeper. I assume so because you're still reading it. Skip says the art is awesome, but it's not even the physical stuff. That's not enough to keep me into a book. The style is really hasty, like some of the old 90s comics I used to buy in my youth. Word. Trucking Nerd says he just finished issue 11 in the Spawn Compendium. There's a really cool Marvel DC cameo. Isn't that the one where he's basically like, oh, I'm better than all of these characters? Yeah, see, this is whack. This whole little like, oh, here, we're on issue 9 now. Like, just put the cover in the book. But anyway. Issue 10. Yeah, so this is cool. Like all these guys like in jail. They just did that in crossover too, if I'm not mistaken. And that was interesting. Like look at this. Look at pseudo Superman here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to read this sooner than later. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. My phone is going off. Let's see what's going on. Oh, I've got this app. My wife and I both have this app where it's like you mark all the times your baby like eats and sleeps and like whatever, and then it gives you suggestions or like gives you averages, tells you how your baby's doing and so on. So I just got a notification from that app. Let's see. Maybe it's issue 11. It's the one with Cerebrus. Yes, that was issue 11. Let's see. Have you read Haunt? It's like a McFarlane Spider-Man-ish character. I have not. I have not read Haunt. JC the Comic Geek says, why is Image, specifically Eric Larson, against the omnibus or hardcover format? Most is in softcover or compendium. They need their older superhero stuff reprinted in collected edition. Basically, the way Image is structured, every creator, I mean, it's creator-owned titles. And so every creator has to pay the cost to get books made. Image isn't putting up money to get your book done necessarily. And so hardcovers are just way more expensive to print than paperbacks and, single issue floppies. That's just kind of how that goes. And then there's a lot of like work that has to be done to like remaster it and make it a larger size, larger format. Like, I don't think most people, especially old school comic fans, believe that like the collector's market is really as big as it is. And I guess to be fair, from what I hear, it wasn't this big until the pandemic. Like I got into all these omnis and stuff during the pandemic, and it was like everybody was trying to get them. But I've heard that it wasn't always like that. Like even like 2 years ago, it wasn't like that. So if that's the case, like, do you want to run the risk of spending all that money to get the book made for an oversized format, and then it doesn't sell enough for you to break even, and now you're losing money and stuff? So I think that's where the general hesitancy comes from. As more things come out that prove the concept, I think like it's harder to make that argument. But have we seen an Image omnibus do well? That's what I would want to know. Let's see. Havoc says, I put in for a Lady Death omnibus from Kickstarter. Word. Let's see. Trucking Nerd prefers Image's softcover compendium. They read really well. Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, I have no issues with gutter loss in this book. Eventually, if I mishandle it, there will be a crease that forms like right down the middle here. But I mean, like, it's not terrible. Like, this book is for reading. If I really wanted to preserve it, I could like go have this custom bound into a hardcover. But I don't think all that's necessary. I mean, and this was like a super good value. Retail price on this was $60. I think I didn't pay for this. This was one of the first books I got from Organic Price Books that was sponsored. But if you were to buy it brand new, you paid like $30 for it, $30 to $40 for it. So I think for all these issues, that's a steal. Because with those oversized hardcovers, like Firepower, theirs has a cover price of $50, I think. And that's only 15 issues. So, yeah. C-Rook says, I'm only a casual collector. Things are definitely more expensive now. Trucking Nerd read the Saga Compendium and didn't have any issue with the folding. Yeah, I think that's something that's like, that only happens if you're like mishandling your books. Top Cow's doing almost all their omnis and Kickstarter. Kickstarter is a great way to do it because you kind of pay for it up front. But with Kickstarter, you're only selling to your diehard fans. So that's kind of an issue, right? Like Kickstarter, you're not necessarily paying for extra copies and sending them to comic shops. Yeah. And then with Omnis, I'm sure the process starts way earlier than the solicitations, right? Because when a book hits the catalog, it's like 3 months from the catalog to the comic shop. I'm like, there's no way that you're starting that full process after final order cutoff. So, yeah, we'll see. Mr. Hand was collecting floppies, but really likes simplicity and lack of storage requirements from digital. I feel bad for my local shop. So I still go in, collect trades for series that I really enjoy and want to show off. What is happening? My daughter was like just making all kinds of noise. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Mr. Hand. Yeah, I honestly I don't enjoy reading digital comics on my phone. Screen's too small. I don't enjoy reading them on my computer because I can't move. But once I get a tablet, I think I'll enjoy digital comics a lot more. And I'll probably do the same thing, especially doing comic book reviews. It doesn't make sense, or it makes a lot more sense to me to go in at midnight, buy a bunch of digital books so that I can go ahead and read them. And it doesn't matter if I made a trip to the comic shop that day or not, I can still tell you how the story went. And then I can save my pull list for just the books that I love. So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited for it though. Havoc says, yes, but that can spring them to get them to print it for everyone. They did an Excellence Kickstarter. Skybound did. A Kickstarter for a deluxe version of Excellence, which I think was a great way to raise that money because Brandon Thomas and Kari Randolph weren't balling out of control. You know what I'm saying? So they did a Kickstarter, they funded it, and the deluxe edition should be somewhere near my door in the next 3 weeks or so. I would hope that them seeing that interest, they raised $100,000 on that Kickstarter. While they're in the printing process for that book, I would hope that they would, allow comic shops to order then. Especially because I believe there's going to be a volume 2 to round out the series. So it makes sense to me. But then the comic shops, that's the other thing. The comic shops are kind of wary on ordering because they believe that everybody that was going to buy it bought it when it was a Kickstarter already. So they're not going to have they don't want to buy copies to just sit on shelves. They want to buy copies that they've pre-sold to their subscribers. So the direct market sucks. Phil says he pre-ordered The Darkness Volume 2, which was a Kickstarter. He didn't contribute to it. So yeah, there's plenty of books that for example, the Word Bros, Kevin and Bob, they do a book, they have a book called Metal Shark Bro, and they funded it through Kickstarter. And so they're doing an initial print run on Kickstarter. And then, a couple months later, they end up doing a deal with Scout Comics, which is another company that does creator-owned stuff. Scout Comics prints it and distributes it to comic book shops. And so you can have a Kickstarter version and a regular direct market version, and the Kickstarter is just a little bit more limited. I've seen that happen. But I feel like they're the exception and not the rule for some reason. I think it's just because they're a little bit more forward thinking than other people are in that regard. Skip likes the idea of me reading digitally and saving my pull list in my shelf space. I like it too. It's definitely on the 2022 New Year's resolution list, which I guess could have been the topic of this video. But then what would I talk about in 2 weeks? Okay, this isn't bad. So someone very recently put me on to putting salt in your coffee. Hear me out. Not a whole lot of salt at all, a little pinch. So Because I'm a sucker for like those creamers, and they're super unhealthy. You're not supposed to be like drowning your coffee in cream and sugar and stuff, right? But if you don't have any, you don't feel like going to the store. It's like, well, how do you create like a similar flavor? So in this, I just put a little bit of oat milk, some sugar, and a tiny bit of salt. And what the salt does is it kind of helps take away from the bitterness of the coffee. And it almost gives me like a salted caramel vibe when I drink this. It's not quite as sweet, but I like it. I like it. Nobody asked for my coffee recommendations, but there we are. What's your favorite DC movie of all time? The Dark Knight. Whoops, wrong hand. It's there. There. How do I point? There we go. There we go. The Dark Knight is my favorite DC movie of all time. My first DC movie ever was Batman Forever. So, yeah, The Dark Knight. By the way, the last people on the list have Daredevil Yellow, so it should be going to me next. Yo, I forgot about the Sisterhood of the Traveling Comic I'm playing. The Squadron of the Traveling Comic. That's exciting. That's exciting. I forgot about that. I'm excited to see what everybody wrote as far as their thoughts on that. So that'll be cool. And then I think I give it away after I read it. Is that right? I think that's how it goes. C-Rook says his dad salts his coffee. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Cool. Well, I knew I wasn't the only one because I wasn't the one that came up with it. But that's dope. I take chances on books I'm interested in but haven't heard much about via digital. Then I decide if it's worthy of me taking up more physical space if I'm loving it, or if it's just a fun story, digital only. Yeah, what I have to battle is my compulsiveness. Like if I remotely like something, I have to own it, right? And it's like all the series don't turn out great, right? Like, what's an example of something that I read that was really cool at the start and then like just okay? Strange Adventures. I didn't need Strange Adventures in single issues. I'm not gonna like revisit it like, ooh, I loved issue 7 so much. And look at the cover of issue 7. Like, I'd be totally fine with that just being a trade. That's something that I probably should have taken or read digitally. And then he said, once I find a 99-cent bid on eBay and it's cheaper than digital prices. Facts. Mr. Hand says, salt is supposed to take out the bitterness without necessarily adding sweetness. Yes, it does that. I can attest to that fact. Very good. Very good. Skip says, yeah, I got burned by enough lackluster books to keep my compulsiveness under control. I feel you. I mean, I have reached the level of collecting where every time I buy something, I'm like, where is this going to go? Like, I'm buying one more shelf that's about this height. Wait, no, not this height. Height that you can't see. I'm buying one more 3x3 cube. I'm putting it right here. And then I'm putting this one right there next in that empty space on the wall. And that's all this shelf space I have. Because I told myself I was not doing floor to ceiling shelves ever. So I could do one floor to ceiling shelf right here and take down. So I'm saying right here, you don't see it, but where my normal background is now, like when I do videos, you see like the light in the background poster or the Batman poster. I could do a floor to ceiling shelf right there, but I don't know that I want to do that. I don't think I want to sacrifice that look for that. Truck and Nerd had to buy long boxes of storage books, no more shelves, and books on the floor is no-go. Yeah, I need to get my books off the floor. There are a few books that I've got on the floor as well. JC wants to know, everyone have their Christmas shopping done? As far as you know, I'm playing. We watched Good Burger the other night, and the dude was like, do you have any prior accidents? And he said, not to your knowledge. I thought that was funny. But anyway, I think I got my wife does all the Christmas shopping. I just make sure the money's there. I think we're all done. I do need to shop for my wife though, and possibly my daughter. Like, I like to give out something that's like just from me. So yeah, I think that's something I got to do. Oh wait, no, I bought her gifts. It's documented on the channel that I bought her gifts. I'll probably sneak one more in there. But yeah. Havoc's shopping is done. It was done before Thanksgiving. That's what's up. That is dope. That's dope. Or awesome. Whichever superlative you want to use. Yeah. What are you guys excited for, like, when it comes to Christmas? By the way, I guess we should mention, since we're an hour into the stream, I am not streaming next week. I thought about, like, okay, will I do a stream next Wednesday the 22nd? Would I do one Thursday the 23rd? But I decided I'm just gonna kind of take next week off just to kind of recharge a bit. And yeah, there's gonna be videos that come out next week, but I'm not gonna do a live stream next week at all. I'll be back on Thursday, December 30th, and that'll be the last Hangout of the year. If we have reached 4,000 subscribers by then, I think we're like 40 away from that. If we've reached that by then I'll do another giveaway or some other type of celebration. But yeah, the December 30th stream is going to be fun. It's just going to be me kind of looking back now that 2021 is mostly in the rear view and kind of giving you guys what my goals are for the next year. Let's see. Let's see. Mr. Han, have you read any of Hickman's Substack releases? No. I'm having a hard enough time understanding Hickman's X-Men. I don't know if I want to dump into creator-owned stuff at this point. I have East of West that I'm going to read because it's like Skip's favorite series of all time. But I don't know. I feel kind of burned by this X-Men run. I don't know how soon I'm going to jump into Hickman. I'll read his Fantastic Four because people love it. Trucking Nerd is looking forward to being home. Only downfall is both him and his girlfriend have divorced parents, so it's a lot of running around. Look, I get that because my mom and grandmother both live like 10 minutes away. They live in the same neighborhood as each other. And then my in-laws live in the same neighborhood as I live in. And every holiday, it's like everybody expects to see you. Like sometimes I wish we lived in like Minnesota or something where we could be like, hey, sorry, we're not coming this year. Maybe not Minnesota. Maybe like, I don't know, Atlanta. Like somewhere that's far enough to like not want to just make a quick drive. I don't think I'd ever move to Minnesota. No offense, Minnesota people. Looks like we got some folks here. Jelly is here. What's up, Jelliot? Trey's here. Although this is Trey. Trey's here. Let's see. A bunch of people are here. Big day at the LCS today. Batgirls. How was Batgirls? I didn't pre-order Batgirls. I know that much. I was going to buy it just on the walk-in. But I didn't get to go to the shop yet. I'm sure there are more copies. And if I know Dan, he probably put a copy in my box anyway. Skip says, outside of the true reward of being with family, I don't really look forward to Christmas because my birthday is 2 days before. And I always feel like something in the way of Christmas. It's complicated. I feel you. My birthday is exactly 4 weeks after Christmas. And so I feel like there's just enough separation there. But yeah, I feel you. I can't imagine like my wife's birthday, for example, is very close to Valentine's Day. And she's very like, ayo, these are two separate holidays. Like, you better give me a birthday gift or we're not combining them. She's never like, you better get me a gift. But it's like, I want Valentine's Day and I want my birthday. Like, show me some respect. I feel you. I got to show her that respect. I'm not a big birthday dude anyway, though. Like, I don't necessarily need like a big party. Like, just give me like a gift card or a nice dinner. Like, take me somewhere so I can buy a nice steak, but not have to pay for it. Like, and that's all I need. That's all I need. Yes, I am an Aquarius. Gang. I'm an Aquarius by like 3 days or something like that. Nice. I feel like shouting out my birthday online is probably not a good idea. But let's see. JC just sold some video games he never plays and used that for his kids' Christmas, letting the hobby fund Christmas. Hey, I feel you. I'm going to, what am I going to do? I think I've sold all I'm going to sell this year. The only book that I'm like thinking about parting with is my first printing of Gotham Central. Only because I know I'm going to upgrade it for better binding or for like a newer copy. But I don't like need to let it go. So I haven't listed it anywhere. Trey and Shannon just became best friends. Yep. They were already best friends. They're all buddy. Trey's birthday is December 20th. He's the same way. No combo gifts. He hates it. I feel you. Listen, if I give you a birthday gift in Santa Claus wrapping paper, are you going to be upset? Like, if I give it to you in Santa Claus wrapping paper, but I write down happy birthday on it, would you be mad? I just need to know this. Let's see. Havoc says, if I get a spot where I need shells in the middle, I'll do the cubes. I just like the way the cube shelves look. I like them a lot. But you guys knew that because you've seen my room. And Trey says, nah, I'm cool with it. Okay, cool. So as long as I put happy birthday on the Christmas wrapped paper book, or present, you're fine. Cool. Trucking Nerd says, I just made him chuckle. Chuckle is a funny word. Like, chuckle is one of those words that just sounds exactly like what it's describing. Like, I could almost laugh and just go, chuckle, and you get it. All right. Skip says, just read East of West and Fantastic Four. Go from two of his longest and most simple stories. Go from there. Not most of his stories are most of his stories are not as complex as Hot Spots. Wouldn't recommend those as first reads. Okay. I felt like I understood Hot Spots decently well. It was just some of the timeline switching that kind of got me. But the rest of it, it's just like, bro, what? What are you doing? What were you doing? Belly chuckle is that is a funny word combo. That really is. So, I mean, we're coming up on like the hour and a half mark. I forgot because, YouTube kicked me off before. But I would love to know like what books. Well, somebody already asked us what books from this week you guys were excited about. What books have you got were? So I'm making my best of 2021 series. If you missed out, the first one came out yesterday. I talked about Stray Dogs, and Trish Forstner shared it on Instagram, which was really cool. But I feel like making a top 10 list just doesn't make sense for me to do because I'm so behind. There's probably a book like this one, for example. I didn't read this. This very well could be like the number 2 best book of the year, but I wouldn't know it. So instead of doing like a top 10, top 5 list, I'm just doing random little spotlights. So that's what we're going to see like pretty much all next week. And then going into the new year, I'm very excited about some stuff going on. Very much excited. I'm rambling. I feel like I had a question there, but then like didn't ask it, and now I don't remember what it was. Like why I said what I said. Trey says, pull list changes today. Drop X-Men, Demon Days, and Star Wars High Republic. Added Donny Cates, Hulk, and Batgirls. Yeah, I hadn't been reading Star Wars High Republic or Demon Days. I'm probably not gonna pull Batgirls, but I do like that dynamic between Oracle, Cassandra, and Stephanie. I really like it a lot. I just don't need another book on my pull list, because there's not a book that I would drop to grab that one. But that's why you buy what you like. Let's see. How's Gotham Central? I did not like the Fox series Gotham or the Grayson Omnibus. So is it like any of those? I didn't read the Grayson Omnibus, but to my understanding, Grayson should be nothing like Gotham Central. Gotham Central basically focuses on the police department in Gotham and how do they like do their everyday jobs in a world where Batman exists and like these crazy villains exist. I haven't read it all, but I've enjoyed everything that I've read. It's written by Greg Rucka and Ed Brubaker, who are two like the best like crime and spy writers. So if you're into like police type books, I think this is one for you. It's very highly revered, if that means anything. Trucking Nerd just read Ex Machina Trades Volume 1 and 2 by Brian K. Vaughan. It was pretty dope. Word. Ex Machina, I feel like that series just like keeps getting rebooted. Like, I don't know if they're reprinting the same issues every time or they start a new series, but the cover always looks the same to me. Chuckle sounds funny, like Knucklehead. My grandfather used to call my mother Knucklehead, like that was his nickname for her. He would just call her Knuckle when I was a kid. And he's West Indian, so you go, Knuckle. And it's like, what? What does that even mean? I didn't realize until I was like 17 that he was saying knuckle. That's great. So yeah, I think I'm all out of ideas. We have talked for an hour and a half, and I didn't really have much to talk about to begin with. Yo, what? You Trucking Nerd says I call Shannon Stinker Butt. That's funny. It sounds like something like somebody would call their baby. And then Havoc says, hey, BJ, we checked out the series with Commissioner Gordon. Which series with Commissioner Gordon? The Joker? The Joker is focused pretty heavily on Commissioner Gordon. Or are you talking about Batman Eternal? The answer is no, either way. But I'd love to know which one you're talking about. I've been in and out of the Joker series, though. Like, I missed like 5 of the first 6 issues. And then I picked it up again, starting with issue 7, like just because. And let's see. JC says, do you use Mylar bags and whatever are the best boards in all your comics? You don't have to change them out so frequently. I've never changed out any of my bags and boards. I don't think I've been collecting long enough to have to do that yet. I mean, at the most, the oldest books in my collection are 2 years old. But no, I don't use Mylar bags. Mylar bags are thicker than your average like bag and board. I use regular BCW current and or BCW silver bags and boards for all my comics. Mylar, I would use if there's like a super expensive book. Like, for example, my Ultimate Fallout 4 is in Mylar. It's stiffer, so chances of it getting damaged inside the bag and board are a lot lesser. But I don't even keep my Ultimate Fallout 4 in a short box. I keep it in a whole different area where it's less likely to be disturbed. And there's only like a few books that I have that I care to take that much care with. I think the short list is like 2. There's like 2 books that I have like my precious. But yeah. The other books that I care about are already slabbed, so they don't really need like extra protection. But yeah, Trey, of what you picked up today, what have you read? And what did you like? What did you think about Batgirls? I would love to know, because I'm debating picking that up. Are we still live? Toyama Displays is hating this paper shortage. He needs silver bags and boards bad. Yeah. Okay, cool. We are still live. I feel like the chat's getting sleepy, like I'm getting sleepy. But yeah. So yeah, I have a bag. I have a case of silver. Well, I have a bag of silver bags and a bag of silver boards. Those are like my last resort. And what else? I got current bags and boards here. Oh, y'all want to see something cool? I was looking for these and I did not know they were here. But Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. This series is so fun. I'm probably gonna do a review of this because I read all 5 of these issues. Well, this is not one of them. This is Primordial. But all 5 of these issues I read in one day, in one sitting. And this is just a riot. This was a hoot. This was like Django Unchained, except Django was Harriet Tubman with other stuff going on. It's great. I love that book. But what I was actually going to show you guys was this. I have a collection of blank covers, and eventually conventions are going to be a thing again, and I'm going to take my blank books to conventions and get them sketched on. So I got Primordial, got all those you just saw, and then there's more, but they're at the bottom. Got Superman, I got Hulk, I got Green Lantern, got a bunch. And in the middle of that, these random art books that I bought myself as if I was going to actually like use them to draw stuff. So, yep. Now, Toyama Displays, Trey, you got Batgirl's cover A and the Lee In-hyuk variant, but you know the Lee In-hyuk was one of 2 connecting covers. There are 2 Lee In-hyuk variants. Did you get both of them or just one? Because if you didn't get both, you got to go back to Carrie and get both. Get the other one. And that's part of the reason I didn't buy that comic, because I knew I was going to want to get 3. I'm like, I don't need 3 of the same issue. Tom says, I'm so far behind on my reading right now. I'm going to get caught up soon. Yeah, I'm behind too. You know, I could spend less time streaming and more time reading, but then when I get to talk to you guys. Trey just got the one. You got to go back, man. If a cover connects, you got to get the other connecting piece. That's the rule. Because then there's going to be somebody out there that buys the other cover, and now they can never join the set. Let's see. Now I got to get the other. See, that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. I hate when the connecting cover is for the same issue. At least with House of X and Powers of 10, it was like issue 1 and then issue 2 or whatever. Like, so you got the full story without, and you didn't have to double up on stuff. But DC is not as confident in their sales, I guess. Anything to bump up those issue 1 sales. Everyone can say they're behind. That never ends. It's true. I kind of just skip around now. Like, if I miss a week, I'll just pick up the next week and like act like the other week didn't happen and then go back to it later. So like this one, the Fear State Omega issue. I didn't read this because I had already read Batman 118 where, you know, the story's actually moving forward. So why read this? Let's see. Somebody asked, what about 'Tis the Season to Be Freezing, DC one shot? You get that? No, because it's $10, and that would have put me $5 over budget, and that's without Dan selling me some random issue like the Jock 1 in 50 variant from last week's Batman. So, nope, I didn't buy that one shot, although there's a story in it written by Alan Burnett and Paul Dini from Batman the Animated Series. And it's drawn in the animated series style, and Mr. Freeze is in the story. That idea sounds like it's worth $10, but I'm like, if all the other stories in that backup or in that anthology are whack, I'm going to be mad that I paid for it. So I'll just wait and read it digitally. As much as that pains me, because I love Alan Burnett and Paul Dini. But yeah, no, I didn't get that one. Yeah. All right, guys. I was like looking around the room for something to talk about. I got nothing. It's 8:40. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I apologize for not going and picking up my books and being able to do the stream that we talked about doing. But I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed being here with me. I enjoyed talking to you guys. Toyama Displays is excited for Berserker #6. I dropped it after issue 3 because I wasn't reading it. I'll get a trade eventually. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Before we go, I do want to give another quick shout out to our sponsors. Thanks to Ultimate Comics for sponsoring this video and every episode of the Hangout, at least for the foreseeable future. We got some pretty fun giveaways coming from Ultimate Comics on the 30th of this month. So come back for the Hangout on December 30th. I'm going to end the year with a bang. Shout out to Organic Price Books, and make sure that if you are going to Organic Price Books, you don't forget to use my discount code. It's just my name, BJ Kicks. You'll save $2 on every order, every time. You can use it to pre-order stuff like this, Milestone Compendium. Like, you know, I love Milestone Comics, and so I just shouted them out just because. They didn't sponsor the video, but you can grab that at Organic Price Books. So yeah, that's going to do it for this week's episode of The Hangout. Remember, we are not streaming next week. It's Christmas. Be with your family. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends if you're just hanging out with friends. But yeah, enjoy some time off. And I will see you guys back here on Thursday evening, December 30th. And it's going to be fun. So I'm excited about it. But until then, I hope you saw something you liked in this video. If not, that's cool. You can always buy what you like. Just make sure you read what you buy. And be nice to others, because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.